Welcome, Leo, to your Leo December 2021 reading and predictions. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James. For those of you who are just stopping by for the first time, and to the subscribers, well, you know, it's always my pleasure to see you. I love the fact that we get together each month like this. It really warms my heart, I have to say. Well, December is a month where there's a lot going on people's different spiritual calendars. I mean, from the 28th of November through to, I think it's the 6th of December, there's Hanukkah for the Jewish members of our audience. Then in the 8th of December, for the Buddhist members, I'm pretty sure, isn't that Bodhi Day? Is that how you pronounce it, isn't it? You might just check that, let me know in the comments, which is traditionally the day celebrated as a result of, well, tradition has it that was the day upon which the Buddha obtained enlightenment. Then on the 12th of December, there is, of course, the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and of special and loving interest for the Latina and Latino members of the audience. Now, also, there is, for those people who are pagan or Wicca persuasion, there goes from, I'm pretty sure it's about the 21st of December through to the 1st of January. Of course, in between it, around about the 25th of December, there's the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. Of course, it's the summer solstice in around about the 25th in the southern hemisphere, so all the South Africans and Aussies can grab their surfboards. But that period is important to, as I say, the Wicca and pagan members of the audience. It's Yule, otherwise known as Yule Tide, and the important changing of the seasons, and in particular the reappearance of the sun. And speaking of which, the sun on December the 25th was traditionally in old Roman times held to be the feast day of, or the holiday of, the Roman god Sol Invictus, who was essentially the official Roman god. And Sol meaning sun, Invictus meaning unconquerable. Now, neither the Romans nor the ancient Egyptians before them, when they referred to Ra, neither of them, of course, thought that that fiery ball in the sky was in fact God. No, not of course, because they're intelligent people. They saw it as a mystical symbol, symbolizing the activity of the divine into human affairs. And of course, December 25th itself, famous not only as the feast day of Sol Invictus, but as Christmas Day, the day of the birth of Jesus Christ, who became incarnate, God incarnate in the Christian calendar, just as Krishna followers will understand the Lord Krishna as being God incarnate in that form. I don't think there's anything of significance for the Muslim or Hindu communities in December otherwise, but you might let me know if I have forgotten something, no offense intended. Now we're going to take 5 cards. There's the 3 of Swords. What a beautiful looking card. Well, there's a couple come out here. What are they? Well, you're on top, so you go there, the Tower. And this is Strength. I love that string of pearls around there. There is the Ace of Swords. You got some good things coming your way. Some good things coming your way. That Strength card in particular is really good for you, Leo. And there's the 2 of Cups, my word. So why don't you come down, sit down here next to me. As is our usual practice, we'll have a look at these cards together while I do the reading for you. Okay, I think you can see those, can you? Where we were, that were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have a look at this beautiful painting here of this dove descending with 3 swords. It is the 3 of Swords. I love birds. I don't know what it is. I think in a former life I might have been a bird, actually. I won't go into the details of it, but I have a real vision of it. Nevertheless, what do we have with this 3 of Swords? There's something at one moment which might bring you some sorrow, but don't be concerned about it. If you can imagine a tiled floor, all of the tiles are not sorrow. One is over there, another one's here, another one's there. Some of them are full of joy, and some of them are just neutral, having a little bit of interest or a little bit of disappointment. But here we have Saturn in the second decan of Libra, the 3rd to the 12th of October. But I have to say that mystically, with the number 3 here, I also have Saturn associated with that as well. So there is a double dose of Saturn. Now, Saturn in Libra, or double Saturn in this case, Saturn is exalted in Libra, so we might expect really good things. But with the numerology of the number 3 here also having Saturn attached to it, there can be something of a downer at a particular point in your life. Now, Saturn is known as the great malefic in the zodiac, and it is about limits, restriction, time, form, and formality. And the suit of swords, well, that can be very difficult. And what we have here is the situation where there is perhaps a moment where there are some worries, doubts, lack of clarity, a heaviness. Maybe there's tension in a 3-sided relationship here. Saturn is a strict teacher, and it makes all impurities visible, and it blocks all comfortable avenues of escape in my experience. The lesson to be learned here is no less than the mastery of care and worry, you getting on top of those things, even if they arise for just a moment. A brooding, distrustful outlook must be recognized clearly as negative energy which separates you from your origins. Now, this card can also relate to a tension-loaded 3-sided relationship and is attempting in some way to explode or destroy it. Now, this situation usually requires clear decisions and the application of your mind, which is what the suit of swords is all about. Any attempt to avoid making them causes sorrow and worry. Do you know, we instinctively recoil from feelings of sorrow, but do you realize that your joy, which is always welcome, is actually your sorrow unmasked? The same well from which your laughter rises was very often filled with your tears. How else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. And isn't the glass that holds your wine the very glass that was burned in the glazier's fire? And isn't the guitar that soothes your spirit the very wood that was hollowed with knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you will find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is now giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Now, some people will say joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, strangely, sorrow is greater than joy. But I say that they are inseparable. Together they come. And when one sits alone with you at your table, when you sit down at your table to eat with sorrow, remember always that joy is in the other room, sleeping on the couch, ready to wake up and come in and greet you once again. There may be a moment when you recollect past hurts, losses, or separation. There could be fear or unhappiness associated with those things, particularly fear about making the same mistakes again in the future, which stops you from doing things. Well, you mustn't, because what this energy here is, it is a summons to you to make clear, unequivocal decisions. Only in this way can the lost balance, that Libra aspect, be regained. What decisions are difficult for you to make or to face? remember always this, that every problem contains within it its own solutions. But what a beautiful painting. Now I'm going to stay on this top line here, and let's have a look at this card, which you will no doubt recognize as being the Tower. Well, here is the Tower, standing up almost like a phallus and expending its seed. Figures fall from the Tower. Well, this is the Lord of the hosts of the mighty. It is Mars, the warrior planet, here in full attack mode to destroy the Tower. There is, I think, with you now, some far-reaching inner transformation that is going on, and more particularly healing. And we looked at this card here before, and so you are healing from those things which gave you sorrow, perhaps. Certainly, the old is now being destroyed to make room for the new. There is a spiritual renewal, a real acquisition of self-knowledge for you. There's a release, a revelation, breaking down of old forms or patterns, and in effect, a calm after the storm. The power of the consuming, purifying fire destroys the old and sweeps it away. Nothing is spared. The tower of the ego will be shaken to its very foundations. Anything that you attempt to cling to will be destroyed by this transforming power. Let's pull that out a bit there so we can see it in context of the other cards. Now all that remains, I think, with you is trust. The knowledge that all events in life arise from the endless love of the universe and brings you the possibility for learning and recognition. The understanding of the true nature of events transforms even apparent losses or painful disappointments into the valuable gifts that they really are. Times of desperation and inattention, when recognized, can become the most fruitful, growing phases of your life. The Tower is also one of the highest cards for healing. Now, there may in some small way, I think, be something of a time of turmoil or destruction as you seek to understand how you could have been so mistaken about a situation, or perhaps about a person, which now you have to come to terms with. And there can be emotions like anger, grief, sorrow. Sleeping problems may affect you. And maybe there's a sense of security which you feel is lost or at least badly shaken. And you may feel as if your own comfortable world will never be the same. But it is. This can be the result of a relationship breakup, the loss of a job, or a death of a loved one, or maybe some temporary financial or health problems. But the important message here is that with the destruction of the old comes the new, and you will come to look at life in a much more meaningful way, which makes you stronger. Now, you may feel that you are in the midst of or about to enter into an intensely transformatory process. Whatever is destroyed or shaken within you serves to purify you and make room for something new. So allow it. Are you ready to view yourself and life with new eyes? Observe yourself in daily life. Situations may seem to repeat themselves, but you will not continue to repeat old, limited, restrictive behavior patterns. Say this to yourself: who I think I am is a belief to be undone. I have the ability to heal and restore myself at all times. Everything that happens in my life is genuinely for the best. And in particular, remember this: I am not inside my body is inside me. Well, I think that takes us then, doesn't it, into this central energy, which is that of strength. Now, as you might imagine, there's a great deal of Leo influence around here. Here we have a lion symbolizing the energy of Leo in here. And I would recommend you go to my Astrology for Beginners on the playlist in my site and have a look at what Leo actually means. And there is, it seems, a woman. Now I'm going to assume that she's naked and she's sitting astride the lion. And to the left of the lion's head are two clasped hands with this golden string of pearls running down from her. Almost as if the Lord Krishna in chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita said, "I am a string of pearls. You are all the pearls, and I am the string." Well, this is Leo ruled by the sun, with Uranus exalted. I call this girl here the daughter of the flaming sword. This is about you having a lust for life. And here there will be with you courage, strength, control of life forces, or a great love affair. Well, the sun ruling Leo with Uranus exalted. Well, what I see here then is this is not only strength, but the joy of strength being exercised. It is also about lust. Well, the traditional name of this card is strength, and I think it is here a representation of divine intoxication, though, as well, of divine ecstasy, almost a divine madness. And the woman sitting astride this lion may well herself be intoxicated. How else would you undertake such an endeavor? The lion is also inflamed by lust. Now, these symbolize different aspects and viewpoints which now unite and meld together as a single perceptive force in one orgiastic experiencing. I see great degrees of passion here. There's a multi-dimensional creativity around you at the moment. Certainly your talents are going to come to the fore, and there's going to be the integration of your animalistic energies, and never overlook them. Certainly you'll be overcoming old fears and conditionings. Now, the animal within you is not tamed and integrated through struggle and repression, but through affirmation and surrender. The strength you gain in this process helps you overcome old fears and restrictive conditioning. And this is represented by the folded hands, I think, of this woman here. Lust reveals its valuable creative potential only when fully tasted, savored, and drunk in. Only then can it be understood and implemented in your own process of becoming aware. The way to the light passes through all aspects of darkness. If you are ready to accept all which you find in yourself, you'll be able to move through everything with deep sensitivity, awareness, love, and understanding. What areas of your life would you like to live out more fully? What has prevented you from doing so in the past? Are you ready to deal with this anew? Take everything in with more awareness. Do you know, you often experience emotions such as love, sadness, sorrow, pain, rage, or fear as obstacles only because you have never learned to use them as potential energy. So say this to yourself: I enjoy expressing my energy, vitality, and enthusiasm in all that I experience. I am a person of character and strength. I have unlimited creative resources to tap into and with which to express myself, and I enjoy living life to the utmost. Fantastic card, that. Now, let me see what's here. there is this Ace of Swords for you. Let's have a look at this. This is an interesting thing. Here is the eagle sitting there. The eagle, of course, is the exalted form of Scorpio. Did you know that Scorpio has 3 forms? The scorpion, which is hard and solid, the snake, which is fluid, and ultimately, in its exalted form, that of the eagle, which soars in the air. Now, at this time, I think Aquarius, Pisces, and Capricorn are going to be important to you. This is the Lord of the root of the powers of air, and it speaks to me, for you, of intellectual clarity, of really original thinking and brilliant powers of thought, divine inspiration almost. There's a quick flow of thoughts and ideas coming in here with you. Your present clarity is a wonderful condition for your undertaking. You'll be able to recognize facts and call by name things which other people would just prefer to sweep under the carpet. This entails a great responsibility on your part. Be sure never to express your insights heartlessly, but when you are fully in contact with love, use this energy without sparing yourself or others. This is a period here for you when you will, notwithstanding this, because this is just unfolding and telling you exactly what's going to be happening, a period of great insight and clarity. It signifies almost a eureka moment. And you'll have the achievement of goals, because that's going to become much easier for you now. And I think what there will be for you is a new perspective on your life that was previously unclear, so you'll be able to cut to the heart of the matter. And in the process, you'll gain a new vision, and you will pursue opportunities which draw upon your creative and mental abilities. I think you might also find that you stand up for the rights of others, or even yourself, or for your personal values or beliefs. You're really, during this time, I think, going to gain a new insight and inspiration. You've come out of the clouds of confusion and into clarity. There are blue skies ahead of you now. Forge ahead. What supports and what hinders your clarity? Say to yourself, I trust my clear perceptions. And then finally, I think it is finally, isn't it? Have we covered the other ones? Yes, we come to this card here. Oh, this really speaks to me. This image, for some reason, is really talking to me. There it is. Well, do you know, as the wands can kind of be a spine in the body, and the swords, the breathing lungs, and the discs or the earth suit, the body itself, well, the Two of Cups is the heart beating and bleeding, taking in, moving out, a constant force from the beginning, where you arise from the dark waters of the high priestess like Poseidon's horses running in the surf. Blood and water, passion and purity, animal and human, these energies are the horses that pull the chariot of your soul. Now, these two horses are ripples in the water that arise from your thoughts, action, love. They go out and they come back. They are sphinxes guarding the pyramids of the sun. Your connection to every other thing, your very existence in the water, affects every other part of the water. And care should be taken to know your horses and to drive them with balance and love. This is the connection between yourself and the rest of the world. After a space is made, a fire lit in it, you are released onto the world for good and ill, for joy and sorrow. Just like everything else, The patterns repeat in all the worlds, in eternity, in the physical world, in your life, inside your body. This is the force of love, which attracts and binds together, unites, coagulates, cooperates. What drives your soul drives your body. The yin and yang inside are matched by your mate on the outside. The whole universe is driven on duality and the tension between opposites, without which there would only be one. You are the same, and the contraction and release rhythm of the heart is the very core, the essential for life. Do you know, when we were drawing the cards, we spoke of Buddha Day on the 8th of December, being the day that the Buddha received an enlightenment. And I think it was the Buddha that said, "The way is not in the sky. The way is in the heart." This is the Lord of love. The astrology is Venus in the first decan of Cancer, 21st of June to the 1st of July. Well, Venus is the most receptive of the planets and represents love, beauty, and creativity, and Cancer about nurturing, comfort, support, and healing. So I see here for you receptive love, happy relationships, emotional exchange. Do you know that if you love yourself, you are attractive to others? Your receptiveness towards yourself prepares you to give yourself totally to someone else. A deep emotional exchange will be possible, a giving and receiving of overflowing love. This union occurs in complete harmony, as symbolized by these two horses here. This is an image of complete joy and silent ecstasy. So there are also here close bonds, which may not just necessarily be romantic, but they can be in the forms of friendship, and they can also be in a business setting, actually. You know, if you're dealing with a customer or a supplier, a partner, or something like that. There's the beginning here of a harmonious relationship, a close friendship. If you meditate, I suspect you'll be able to access universal love here. This also speaks to me of a love that is both special and equal, and you'll be able to give and receive love in equal measure. With which persons and in which surroundings can you now share your love? Pay attention to the love coming to you now. Remain open and let it enter into you and go deep inside. And say to yourself, there is nothing to do but to enjoy what life offers. I am now ready to let into my life the love relationships which fulfill me. What a great spread of cards for you. Good job. That's where it is for you this month. Well, I thought that was really, really interesting. It looks like it's going to be a great month for you, and don't you deserve it? You really do, particularly coming up for this time of the year. It's busy for everybody, wherever you happen to be, and it's a wonderful time of year, and it's a wonderful time for you. Now also, don't forget, I have done a 2022 yearly calendar reading where I use some beautiful Renaissance art cards. 12 cards, one for each month of the year, which I think that you'll find delightful, and it's in particular, it points out what a good year it's going to be for you. But until then, have a look at that. But until then, I look forward to seeing you again next month. And remember though, always, and one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.